back with some Crisis Core.
What's up, lads? How you doing today?
Alright, so there is a major time gap in between this part and the next part, so you can see I'm at level 74. So I did a lot of the side quests. So the reason why I want to do the side quest right now is that this game really does not limit what side quests you can do. You can do almost all of them, except for some of the top ones are plot-centric, but you can see I did 74 of the side quests. And the reason why I want to do side quests right now is that this woman right here gives you an auto-life status. So you talk to her, and she's like, do you want to try a potion? And it's completely free, and you can do it as many times as you want, and it gives you the raise status, which is an auto-life. And in this game, auto-life is so good, especially since it's 1v1. So, yeah. So for the remaining part...
So you can do that anytime and then go do a mission.
Yeah.
And then when you're done with the mission, you can get auto-life again.
And later game, I'm not going to be showing any of them right now because I'm going to save them for the last part. But this game gets very, very hard with the end game side quests. So let me show you my materia loadout. So as you can see, I have some pretty ridiculous materia. So one thing I didn't show last part, and I'll kind of give you an example. So we're going to fuse together a mug materia. So they give you this materia fusion option, and this is how, because you really don't get super good stats just by leveling up. So they really want you to fuse materia. So let's see here. So down here... Okay, so when you do side quests, you see I have a million materia. They give you so much stuff. And this is sort of the reason why I really like playing this game, because there's sort of like a flow to it, where you do side quests, and like they're not super interesting by themselves, but they're sort of a progression. You go through like a percentage of doing all the side quests. You get a million things all the time. It's very gratifying that way. So let me show you this. So, when you fuse materia, there's a lot of times when you'll get random stuff. So, it looks like Mug is pretty... Yeah. Alright, so you get a lot of items, and you can fuse items to materia, and it depends on what it is, like Phoenix Downs, raise it by plus 10% HP. But what we want to do is fuse together a very strong attack one. So I'm going to come down here. So you get a lot of these items for +1 spirit or luck or whatever. So I think we're going to use magic, because magic's pretty much useless, and I'll show you the reason why. So yeah, that gives you +92 magic. Now you see it gives you SP. That's a lot of SP. I have like 1.4 million SP. So it's not the easiest to do this if you want a power level. Like, you really have to grind SP, but that's how you get super strong materias. So let's do that first. And now we have this +92 magic mug. And the nice thing is that when you use these endgame stat ups, it will overwrite the previous one with whatever you're using with the current one. So I only have to use 8 hero drinks to make it +100 attack. So let's do that, because that's really good.
Wow.
So that's how materia fusion works, and it's very, very good if you know what you're doing.
So now that this mug materia, and it's just like god tier. Where is it?
Yeah, so
oh, you're max, 255.
Yeah. And a lot of these items down here, let me show you how ridiculous some of these accessories get. So we have the Genji Helm, which stops expending all MP and AP, which makes all MP and AP up materia and effects completely useless. And that's sort of the basis of this game, is you find out what the most broken things are, and then you abuse them because the game also cheats. And I'll show that to you later, but this game is ridiculous. So there's a lot of Genji equipment. Genji Glove sets damage load to 99999. Genji Sealed. This one's ridiculous. Barrier and M Barrier active. Absorb all elements, null all statuses. So a lot of times in the later game side quests, all enemies with their normal attacks usually have death like status. So they attack you one time, you just die if you don't have something like this. So there's a lot of them that break the limits for MP, HP, etc. Now this one is one of the last items you get, and this breaks all the limits, and it also gives you Libra. So a lot of cool stuff. Now, I'll show you this later. Costly Punch is the most broken materia in the game by far, and we'll get to that. But let's do some story.
If there was one thing that I would add to FF7 to make it like even better, the original would be like almost like a Monster Hunter type thing that you have in FF10. The only thing that stinks about FF7 is once you're really strong at the end, once you have like Mime and KOTOR and Final Attack and all that stuff, there's really only two things that'll be hard for you anymore, and that's Emerald and Ruby Weapon.
Yeah.
And I wish there was just like a Monster Hunter thing, like Nemesis in Final Fantasy X or whatever, because some of those materia combinations are so good that I feel like they're too strong for the game, and it seems like this game gives you a lot of really hard bosses.
Yeah,
that you can kind of try them out on.
The unfortunate thing is that there's like about 200 side quests in this game, and there's like 10 of them that are actually really good and really challenging. But a lot of them are just kind of the same filler type of thing over and over. There's one super boss that I think is pretty fun, but there's some other ones that you just wish were just a bit harder, because once you have this materia,
yeah,
there's not too much to do, but
Zach, I need you in Modeoheim.
I know. Just give me a minute.
Aerith isn't there.
Problem?
How is it you know Aerith?
It's complicated.
Really?
Did she tell you anything?
Not a thing.
Then I won't either.
I love how in the background you can see the plate. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, good attention to detail for a PSP game.
Well, whatever, I guess.
Whatever. What? Squall.
One wing.
Oh, yeah, this happens, but they don't show it or explain it.
Oh, the helicopter crashes?
Yeah.
Oh. And, like, this looks great. Like, maybe it's the emulator, and I'm sure it is, but, like, right now it looks like the background looks great.
Yeah, I think this game in general, even on
great.
PSP, looked good. And I think I said this before, but I'm not using any filters or shaders or anything, because I usually hate that stuff. This is just the game being upscaled.
Dude, I hate when people play, like when you watch, because Ferris always has like random Mario videos on, and when people are playing Mario World with like a filter on emulator, I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah, I can't even look at it.
It looks so bad.
No signal out here.
Especially a game like that. Like if you had a filter for an early PS1 3D game that like made it less jagged, I'd be like, okay, but like why do you need to make Mario World look better? Like what the heck?
Thankfully, we have someone used to this kind of terrain.
Yeah, I'm a country boy.
All right then. We would have reached Modeoheim by now if we hadn't crashed.
Well, luckily,
So,
like
we're
everyone
going to need to
survived
make
and
up the
stuff. I
lost
guess.
time.
Zeng. I guess maybe the pilot
All
died.
right. Follow
Unless
me
Zeng
then.
was the pilot.
I don't think they really care about explaining.
Yeah. Alright, well, you know what? We're up in this mountain, and we don't have any food or whatever, but this is fine.
Oh. Alright, let me show you this. So I have 255 attack, so obviously I'm going to do a lot of damage, especially with the damage limit broken off. But even normal attacks are probably going to do about like 20,000. So yeah, that's a lot. But let me show you Costly Punch. So Costly Punch, I'm not exactly sure what they were thinking. So Costly Punch is a skill that always does max damage, and the only thing that it really does that's disadvantage is, you see my HP goes down by like 700. Now there's two major things about Costly Punch that are limiting. First, it's really hard to get. The only way to get it sorta early is to fuse together Goblin Punch and then a Summon Materia thing through a sort of secret shop. So you really can't, like, get it early and then just steamroll through everything. But once you have Costly Punch, it makes everything else irrelevant. It makes all magic irrelevant.
Yeah.
It makes all other skills irrelevant other than, like, Steel or Mug.
If you had max 9999 HP and it took 700, I'd be like, okay, because that's like you know, whatever, 5% each time. But the fact that you have 99,000, it's like, you know, 0.5 each time.
Another thing about Costly Punch that is limiting when you have not max HP is that if you go over, like, the HP limit through, like...
Is this literally Cloud? It's literally Cloud!
Hey, what's so funny about that? You know Gungaga?
No, but it's such a backwater name.
Ditto Nibelheim.
Like you've been there.
I haven't.
Hoo
But
boy.
there's a reactor there, right? A Mako reactor outside Midgar usually means nothing else out there.
Let's kiss.
Good news, son.
I'm gonna steal your sword someday, boy.
Hey, at least Cloud isn't angsty and also...
Cloud.
Me and Cloud here are both backwater experts.
Well, I guess he was like literally 16 at the time.
Yeah, he's like pretty young.
Good. Carry on then.
I mean, Cloud in FF7's like...
He might be like 16 here.
I think he's like 21 or 22 in FF7, so he's essentially a grandpa. Where he's seen some things, he's seen some stuff, man.
Alright, so as I was explaining, the other downside to Costly Punch is that when you break the HP limit, in terms of like when you do the slots and it gives you more than your max HP artificially for a little bit, then it does 0 damage. However, you see that since I have 2 materials that give me plus 999 HP, my HP is at the limit at 5 nines, so that's never a consideration anymore.
Wait, what? I didn't follow that.
So do you remember when the slots activate and I get like 3 characters together, it will break my HP limit at the time. So if I had like 1,000 HP, it might give me like 1,200 HP out of 1,000. And when when you're in that state, then Costly Punch does 0 damage.
Ah, but you can't do it anymore.
I can't do it anymore
Because you have enough HP buffs to get high enough, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Zach. I'm Cloud. To be fair, Zach is just like... He's not like Sephiroth special or anything like that. He just seems like a guy who's in Soldier.
Yeah, he's better than most of the other Soldier just by probably talent and caring, but he's just a regular Machio infused Soldier.
Uh-oh, how are you gonna beat these guys?
Yeah, so this section is really weird.
I'll go check it out. Not you, lamos. Oh man, you literally have to like sneak.
Yeah, so this is like a really awkward stealth section.
Rough.
And I've done this part 2 times now. And to not get seen, you literally have to wait at the entrance of the Mako reactor for like 2 minutes. So I'm gonna use emulator speed up.
That's not a bad idea.
Like, it doesn't really matter, like, you can just get caught and then fight enemies, but what's the fun of that? Alright, and then they have this other really weird, like, half-baked sort of system where, you perform squats to increase your body temperature level.
Hey, it's like FF7.
Yeah, so it's obviously just a callback to that FF7 part, but in this, it's just this one area. In FF7, obviously, you, like, are doing the snowboard section, and then you get, caught, or, you fall off of it, and then you're, like, just stranded. So it's, like, way different.
So why did you do that?
Do what?
Like, are you waiting for a certain, like, pattern to appear?
Yeah, I have to go where that guy is going. He's going to turn left soon. I have to go over there. But basically that means, because it's such a confined corner, I just have to wait for them all to clear out, which takes a while.
What temperature do you die at or
It's
whatever?
like at 26. I'll do a couple.
Me.
Alright, I think the cycle's coming up soon. Just to wait for this guy to go. So there's some chests here, but they're all pointless. Alright, we did it. What an interesting section. Mitch.
Soldiers of the Year, by the way.
Whoops. Go, 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 go. Piece of garbage.
Those that outkeep, they were awesome out there.
Yeah.
Activating combat mode.
So there's a lot of things in this game that are just like, they do a section, and I don't know if they're just, I don't know what they're thinking, but they're so half-baked and so temperamental. You do them for one single room and then it's dropped forever, and you have to wonder like why they even bother.
So that you never do squats again or whatever?
You never do that section again. It's just that one room.
I would understand if it was even a section of the game, like a whole world or whatever.
What's the meaning of this?
Yeah, like the FF7 part is like, what, like 15 screens of that?
Remember
And like
that.
the entire purpose
If
is
you
getting
get
like
rid of me,
amazing material.
Who's going to stop the degradation?
So you can kind of see Genesis is falling apart. What an interesting character.
The Genova cells.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Genova.
Stop! Cloud, good work.
Except Cloud sucks.
But
Fat
nobody
scientist
knows
knocks
where the
him out.
Genova cells are being kept. Not even Hojo knows. You'll never find it.
Then I shall willingly accept my fate. But I'll take the world with me.
Wait, and I actually forget. In FF7, only Sephiroth is made using the Genova cells, or do they use Genova cells for like all soldier or whatever?
As far as I'm aware, all regular soldier members are just Mako infused. So Zack, at this point, is just a Mako infused, like slightly superhuman, but it really doesn't make you like god strong. It just makes you like a stronger human.
So any of these one-wing angel guys, are they Genova cell people?
Yeah, both of them are birthed different ways, but as far as I'm aware, Genesis was injected with Genova cells like as an infant, and Genesis is injected with Genova cells as an infant,
Dreams of the
and
morrow
it makes him strong, but
hath
has
beshattered
this
soul.
adverse effect. And then Angeal for a
Pride
while seems
is
like he's like
lost.
the perfect
Wings
Genova
stripped away.
version.
The end is
Because
nigh.
like he was injected with Genova cells like as a fetus in his mom, but it seems like he's still degrading as well, but just not as fast as Genesis.
Such is the fate.
And then
Of a
Sephiroth's
monster.
like the perfect version.
We're not monsters.
Sorry,
you
Genesis.
hear me? We're soldier. Where's your honor?
The major thing is Shinra sucks.
Even if the morrow is barren of promises,
Specifically, Hojo sucks.
nothing shall forestall my return.
I like how in the original FF7 they kill off President Shinra so quick, and you're like, oh, is that the end? And 1 second later, it's like, hi, I'm Rufus. I'm way more evil than my dad.
Destruction.
Peace. And you're like, oh crap. And then you're like, oh, okay, well at least it's Rufus. And you're like, oh wait, clearly Hojo is like crazier.
Yeah. So like you have the Rufus and Hojo combo. It's like okay.
I also like
Genesis.
I kind of like Heidegger in the remake. He's
Oh,
not
how
like
far are you?
over the top. I'm currently spoilers. This is anything crazy. Spoilers. I'm at Wall Market and I'm about to fight friggin' Hell House.
Nice.
I saw a video of Scarlet and I'm like, cool, like over the top, like feminine character or whatever.
Yeah, I like Scarlet in this.
And
I also like the what's the guy's name in the yellow suit? That's pudgy fat guy.
oh, I haven't seen Palmer
Yeah,
yet.
Palmer's pretty good in this as well.
I wish
Hojo's actually really good too.
I wish Palmer was more in the original FF7. So, I mean, you don't want him like a ton, but he was like very silly. You'd like a couple more scenes with him.
Just gotta hug the wall so I can avoid all these pointless encounters.
Activating combat, dead.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if anyone's like, oh, it's not very interesting to watch anymore because I can just one-shot everything. But this game isn't... The main quest is so much easier than the last 20% of the side quests by such a huge margin that it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, it's sort of like Final Fantasy X, where at the end of especially the international version, when you're fighting the Dark Aeons and Nemesis and Penance, that is so much harder than Sin that it's not even the same ballpark, even remotely. And just to give you a spoiler, the cool cutscene. The hardest side boss in this has 10 million HP. So if you think me doing 100,000 per hit is a lot, it really isn't.
Conflict resolved.
Is that how many? You said 10 million?
Yeah.
So that's 1,000 hits. Damn. Assuming you're able to hit it every time for the 100,000.
Cloud.
Nigga. Hubba. Cloud! I met you 1 second ago. This game should be epic and end on the scene at the Nibelheim reactor where Cloud's like, no! But this time he like always has his helmet off for some reason.
Yeah, it's not spoilers because this is a prequel, but the Nibelheim part in this game is pretty cool. At least the first like 80% of it is pretty cool before they start retconning stuff.
Activating combat mode.
You guarantee you don't even have to do that, man.
I know.
Punch.
Resolved.
I also find it funny that this game is essentially kind of the prequel to the Buster Sword, but the best move in the game is him literally just punching people. So you like there's for so long because Mug and Costly Punch is just you punching them. I did not swing my sword one time for so long. That's pretty funny.
What area are you in again?
We're in the Modeaheim Mako reactor, I think. And then this is like a bathhouse thing? I'm not sure.
Modeaheim. I can't wait to see that in FF7 Remake Part 3.
Modeaheim is, isn't it the ski resort place? Or just the top of the mountain before you do the skiing thing?
Maybe. They only call it Icicle Inn up there.
Oh, really? I don't know.
In the original
It's
game.
been a while since I played the
It should
original.
have been me. I should have dealt with Genesis.
Yeah. Then why'd you send me?
To prepare you for your next fight.
Which is me.
Have you lost it? Stop it!
Someone's waiting for you, no?
Angel, don't do this.
Very good, Angel. It is time to exact vengeance for our family's suffering.
Family?
No! My father is dead! Fine. Then do it for your mother.
My
Okay.
mother's shame made her take her own life.
Shame.
And Jill
terribly
didn't kill his
misguided.
mom. Oh,
She should have been proud.
very relevant plot
Proud that
twist.
she
Well, now
was
he's
the
better.
namesake of our experiment. Project G, or should I say, Project Jillian.
Don't say her name.
Jillian, the woman implanted with Genova cells, Genesis, who had her genes mapped onto him during the
second
fetal
so
stage.
bad.
Yes. Genesis
Yes.
was a failure, I'll admit it. But you, Angel, you were actually
Hey, it's the
bred
stuff I was just
inside
asking
Jillian's
about.
body. You are perfection.
Zach,
I am perfect. A perfect monster. My cells can absorb genetic traits and pass them along
I
to
hate this
others.
story, dude.
Wait,
The
what was
two-way
that?
Conduit.
That was
Genova's power
you,
has passed
apparently
on
you
to
can take
completely.
Angeal's cells and implant them into people or monsters, and it makes them like
Do you
a lot
remember what I
stronger,
said
but also
about our
make them
enemy
generate his
being
face on
all
them.
that
That's
creates
right. That's
suffering?
you fought a boss like that or whatever.
But you're not one of them. But I created my own suffering. Zack, let me show you.
Stop it! You don't know what you're doing!
Activated. Combat mode.
No, this fight's way different than that. You expected just a 1v1 versus Angeel.
Damn! At least one sample!
I still don't understand what he meant by that.
Angel!
Wait. Oh, so he called monsters down to like infuse with
I
them?
guess so.
Well, luckily you're in a big circular room.
That is pretty accurate. That was a big centaur guy, I guess.
This game has a lot of dun 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 dun. Don't you give up on it.
Sort of the nice thing is that this game is actually not super long. So thankfully, I think I only have like 2 or 3 more sit-downs of this, so we can get it over with.
Activating combat mode.
Yes! So good.
Pre-rendered.
Yikes from me. Angel, no, I'm sorry I punched you one time.
Zack,
What, do you have gray hair now?
you have my thanks.
That's how hard he punched him. He aged 20 years.
Is for you.
Whoa.
What dis?
The passing of the torch by this character that has a lot of character to him.
Wait, so if he was so perfection, why does he die after getting friggin' not just say punch one time, but after doing one battle?
Protect
It's like,
your
I'm
honor.
so dead.
Always.
That's why I said that like Angeel still like degrades, and later on you'll see more like Angeel copies, and like you can definitely see that they're degrading as well. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. I don't think they really care enough to explain
Embrace your
either.
dreams. If you
What am I
want
gonna
to
do with
be a
this
hero,
7-foot
you need to have
sword?
dreams and honor.
That's like being like, oh, can I buy a gun from you? Yeah, here's this 10-foot long musket.
Yeah,
Okay.
it shoots like 0.3 millimeter tank bullets.
Thanks for the weapon.
Hey,
I'd literally rather have like a
the
staff.
sky is closer in the city above, right? Kinda scary. But the flowers might like it. Maybe.
Okay.
Zach's not taking it too well.
Music doesn't really fit.
Yeah, it is pretty odd. I mean, the OST in this game in general just sucks.
This smooth jazz is getting me. Is I don't know.
Yeah, it sort of sounds like, I don't know, credits roll music, sort of uplifting, maybe a little bit melancholic.
Yeah, this is what I think of when I see Shinrai's Hue. Was this Gemini by Brian Kanek?
Oh, he changed his look from his experiences, and now he looks like he does in FF7. Oh.
E-P-I-C. That's how you spell epic. Put those dang materia in that sword, bruh. Walk. Walk.
I think this actually goes on for like 10 more seconds.
Walk. This is where he falls. He's like, oh. Like if you cry every time. You are doing that other game today, right?
Yeah.
Yeet.
So you want to be in soldier? Hang in there. So, is everybody here now?
Sir!
You're all rookies, right?
Sir! Yes, sir!
One piece of advice. No. In order.
Have one strand of hair in front of your face.
Have this gigantic sword.
More belts. What are you gonna say, Zach? Don't ever forget where you came from.
Embrace your dreams.
Similar.
And whatever happens, protect your soldier honor.
Sir.
Got it?
Sir!
We're all coming back here alive. You hear me?
Ching!
Let's go.
It's the part where the lightning comes down on it. Ah, yes. Infused with lightning now. Let's go.
Smile. Look at Cloud.
Cloud doesn't do that.
Alright, yeah, let's get the next part started, but probably gonna stop in about 5-10 minutes.
Shinra's in disarray. Zach, you'll be okay, dude. Ooh. The water. Dude, I wanna fly high. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Tails? Tails.
It actually does kind of remind me of it.
What am I gonna do with you? That's it. Gotta play Sonic Adventure again.
Suntan lotion?
What's this
No.
Turk girl?
Never mind that.
Sisney, remember her?
What is this? Are they putting me out to pasture?
You could use some R&R.
So there's another game that people...
I'm bored.
Nice.
That's it. I'm calling him.
There's another game that people completely forget about called Before
been missing
Crisis,
for a
which
while.
was a phone game before like
It was Lazard who's
iOS
been
or
the
Android even
research.
existed. And like
He's
that has like a lot of
his
Turk
money.
characters in it,
Are
and
you
like
serious?
OC
We're
Turks
interrogating
characters.
Hollander, so we should learn more.
I want to see if like that's playable in any
What's
fashion.
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
one that I always wanted to see. I remember reading about that and being like, oh.
What are they all
Because at the
thinking?
time, I didn't even have a
The
friggin'
truth
smartphone.
lies within
Or I guess
us.
it wasn't even on a smartphone.
It was on like
But even
flip
truth
phones.
seems suspect.
Yeah. What a weird thing to be like, yeah, this actually has story that's not,
Sisney,
like, available in anything else. It's like, okay.
Calling Aaron?
how do you know that? Am I being watched?
No, she's the one being watched.
Huh?
That girl is an ancient.
Water.
The only one left in the world. You didn't know?
She never said anything. The only one left in the world, huh? She is one of a kind.
Heads up! Genesis copies.
Like,
this game emulates perfectly, but for some reason, just the cutscenes are all over the place sometimes.
when they say Genesis copies, they mean literally of the person Genesis.
Yeah, like they explained it last part, but you can take Genesis cells and just use them for people. And I guess just either inject them into other humans or just copy them in general. It sucks.
Oh, this friggin' Blood Will Tell. Fight 50 guys.
There's actually a side quest where you have to fight 1,000 Shinra members.
Cool. Well, better go to the live stream.
In any case, he's wrong, because if that was true, it would be the stupidest thing in the world.
Maybe, like, he controls them from, like,
Oh, yeah.
a live stream?
Junon. I forgot about this part. Look at
Dun.
that Buster Sword.
Dun 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 dun.
Remember this music instead of that good music?
Da 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 da.
Zero.
I'm gonna become a marching band leader just so that could be the song we play when we march in parades. Everyone would be like, "This song's cool," and every like person who knows video games would be like, "EPIC, that's how I spell epic."
The only problem with the Junon theme is just it's like a 45-second loop.
Da 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 da. Let's just listen to the FF7 soundtrack, lads and ladettes.
It's so good. It's so good.
So is 8.
Yeah, 8's really good too.
Yeah.
8 has a lot more like ambient tracks.
Yeah.
But also 8's boss theme is 10.
7 has very few tracks that are like bad. But 8 has better, like the best track on 8's probably better than the best track on 7, like Balam Garden and the boss music. Okay, bye.
Fisherman's Horizon.
Fisherman's Horizon is also really good. Bye. See ya. Bye, Sheets. Blah.